acting tips video. I was thinking today, in between going in and out of this glorious sunshine weather we're having, and I was thinking whilst I was having a break from it, I really wanted to do a video, but I couldn't quite think of anything that inspired me. And then it suddenly occurred to me about a couple of weeks ago, I was running a corporate training for a company, and I introduced to them the beginnings, the very basics of the repetition exercise. So sustaining eye contact, really looking at somebody in detail, observing behaviour, being aware of your own tics and habits. So we were going through this, and one of the guys who was running the exercise with another colleague, we basically realised that he was relying on the words to communicate how he felt or what he wanted to say. And so, for instance, he may have been saying, I'm trying to remember now, but he may have been saying something like, I really like your eyes, for instance, rather than just saying you have maybe green eyes, and finding a way of communicating the fact that he really liked them. He used the words, and quite often in the exercise, a lot of actors will rely upon the words in order to communicate what they intend or what they feel. Now, think about this as far as your acting is concerned. You're given your words, you're given your dialogue. Sometimes it's great dialogue, and sometimes maybe it's not so great, but ultimately it's your job to be communicating what's underneath those words, how the character feels, what their opinion is, how they feel about the other person. And all of this can be done through behaviour. So when I said to this guy, if I took that "you have really nice eyes" away from you and said, just tell her that she has green eyes, how might you communicate the fact that you really like it? And instantly it was like bang, this light bulb moment for him, and he offered his hand out to her to show that, you know, he wanted her to know that it wasn't just the green eyes he was commenting on. And in reflection afterwards, I said to him the application of this, how might you apply that to your job? And he said, actually, he's a manager of, let's say, the less gregarious and outgoing aspect of this company's department. And he said that someone will do a good job, and he'll say, yeah, thank you for doing that good job. But he realised, actually, he was relying purely just on the words. The fact that he'd given a compliment was enough. And then he was realising that, actually, he could maybe communicate a little bit more about, you know, how he actually feels that they've done a good job. And I challenged him. I said, why don't you this week go into the office, and if somebody does something that you're pleased with, what if you even tried to avoid even telling them, but in fact caught their eye across the office and gave them a smile, tried to communicate how you feel non-verbally. And it was a very exciting moment for him, because he realised that there was a whole world of other ways in which he could reach out to people. So just have a little think about that, and think about whether you rely on the words of your text to do all of the work for you. And in fact, if you rely on the words in your text, you're missing 80% at least of all the other great, rich stuff that you could be experiencing and communicating to your fellow scene partner. Meisner says an ounce of behaviour is worth more than a pound of words, and this video here really is about summing that up. So good. I hope you've enjoyed this little moment of my acting tips. So it didn't even make any sense. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed the video. Let's keep it brief. If you want me to talk about anything in particular, then as always, just mention something in the comments and share them around. I'm really glad that these videos are inspiring some of you and helping some of you. I'll just keep on doing them if that's the case. So yeah, until next time.